there should be two parts in a civil case. Any civil case you take up, there will be two parts. The first part is called, in simple language I am trying to explain, it is called the trial part. And the second part is called the execution part. So that is the implementation part. So the first part contains the trial. That means the rights are decided. Now plaintiff files a case against the defendant. Plaintiff is the person who files a case against the defendant. Defendant is the person against whom the case is filed. Now in the first part, the court decides who wins the case or whether the case is frivolous. So in the first part, court takes the decision about whether to allow the case or dismiss the case. If the case is allowed, then the plaintiff files execution petition against the defendant. If the case is dismissed, then the defendant has to recover the court costs, that is the cost incurred in the litigation because of unnecessary frivolous case filed by the plaintiff against the defendant by filing a execution petition. So the first part decides the case, the second part decides how to implement the result of the case. Hope you understood the difference between the first part and the second part. For example, let us understand there is a money dispute between two parties. Plaintiff filed the recovery of around 10 lakhs against the defendant with an interest at the rate of 24% per annum. Now this is the first part. I am explaining the first part. Now two things can happen in this. Either the plaintiff's case can be allowed, court passes an order directing the defendant to pay 10 lakhs with interest to the plaintiff, or else court may dismiss the case of the plaintiff. Anything can happen in the first part. There are two options. If the court allows the case of the plaintiff, that is, court passes an order directing the defendant to pay 10 lakhs with interest to the plaintiff, that is to say court allowed the case of the plaintiff. Now plaintiff files the execution petition in the same court. If the court dismisses the case of the plaintiff, that is, court decides that there is no need for defendant to pay any amount to the plaintiff, or else court decides that the plaintiff did not produce adequate evidence to pass an order, or the court decides that the plaintiff's case is a fraud case or a frivolous case. In such instance, the order is in favor of the defendant. Now the defendant has to recover the costs that are incurred, that is an advocate fee and other costs, which will be informed in the decree. Those costs must be recovered by the defendant from the plaintiff by filing an execution petition. So when the case is allowed, plaintiff files the execution petition. When the case is dismissed, defendant files the execution petition. So this is how there will be two parts of the case. So your case doesn't come to an end when you win the case. You have to implement the order. That is the purpose of a case. Without implementation of the order, what is the purpose of winning the case? Hope you understood what I am trying to inform. Thank you. Thanks for watching.